Okay, now I have put on recording again. Okay, now it's
Mm-hmm.
recording. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Thank you for reminding me to record the session. Okay, thank you. Uh, now, Moses' question was very interesting.
Yeah.
Teresa,
Yes.
what Moses was asking was
Mm-hmm.
about one of the postulates given by Homburg,
Mm-hmm.
uh, how you can motivate
Mm-hmm.
the distance learners through self-learning materials.
Yeah.
How distance learning materials or self-learning materials can play its role in
Mm-hmm.
motivating the learners.
Okay. So as by exploring self materials, the learner feels autonomous, and according to Bourget, so a learner should be autonomous. So in order to be motivated to through the learning process. So when the self materials are developed for the learner, so he will feel autonomous, and he will feel less pressure. And when there is less pressure, the learner so get motivated through the learning processes. This is how I can add more to the
Yeah.
question.
And in addition to that, what the Resa is saying,
Mm-hmm.
what you have said and what you
Mm-hmm.
have shared, I
Mm-hmm.
am going ahead, far ahead from that,
Yeah.
is that
Okay.
if the self-learning materials,
Yeah.
if the learning materials are written in a
Mm-hmm.
simple language,
Mm-hmm.
in a conversational style,
Mm-hmm.
if learner goes through the learning materials, if he or she feels
Mm-hmm.
that I am in a conversation with my teacher,
Mm-hmm.
the style of writing is so learner friendly or
Mm-hmm.
learner centered in a
Yeah.
very simple and straightforward style
Yeah.
of writing
Yeah.
that learners feel that the learning is an enjoyable experience for him or her.
Yeah. That's true.
He or she is enjoying while going through the learning materials, so
Yeah.
itself it will motivate them.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever learning materials you develop,
Mm-hmm.
always keep in mind that
Mm-hmm.
you are going
Mm-hmm.
conversation with your learners. So
Yeah.
its presentation style, its language, its vocabularies, whatever you use, its
Mm-hmm.
format, all should be like
Mm-hmm.
different from the textbook. If
Yeah.
you are going through the textbook, you cannot read, I mean, one or two pages, more than one or two pages in a one go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go through the learning materials, self-learning materials, which are written following the all the principles of distance education,
Yeah.
you will find that it is a very interesting to read. It is a very
Yeah.
good learning experience or reading experience. So
Yeah.
this itself will motivate the learners. And
Yeah.
moreover, the
Mm-hmm.
Homburg also talks about guided didactic conversation.
Yeah.
So that conversation should be created through learning materials.
Yeah. That's true.
The two-way communication between teacher and learner can happen
Mm-hmm.
with a medium that is self-learning material.
Yeah.
So if the self-learning materials are designed in such a way that
Mm-hmm.
it creates some sort of conversation,
Mm-hmm.
obviously that
Mm-hmm.
will be going to motivate the
The
learners.
learner. Yeah.
Yeah, this was my take on the question raised by Moses.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your contribution.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Now we should move to the second presenter.
Yeah.
Fatima, are you there? Fatima Abdullah? I think she has joined the session. I think she has left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we shall move forward. And Usman, I have got a message that Usman has some problem in his car. So presently he's with mechanic. So he's saying, sir, next week I will be first person to present. Okay, no problem. We will. consider his request. And uh, Anas, are you there? Anas?
Oh, so can I present, please? I have some work to do after.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, please. Yeah, Wilson, please go ahead.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'll not be able to share, and then I'm still at work. I'm not feeling well, but I will still manage to present anyway. Uh, I'm presenting on orthopedics theory. The theory.
Anas, 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 can you, sorry, Wilson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, your topic is orthopedics, na?
Yes, orthopedics.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. So the theory of orthopedics is called he basically was looking at distance education as industrialized form of teaching and training. So we're still looking at the industrialized form of teaching and training. Now, his main idea or his main conclusion from this comparing distance education with industrialization was that uh, he concluded that for distance teaching to be effective, the principle of division of labor is a critical element. So he had the elements of, he compared distance education with industry, how it works. Now, there were different terminologies that were compared from the industry to distance education. So we have for number one, rationalization, which was the use of methodical measures to reduce the requirement of amount of input. And then we had division of labor, the division of a task into simpler components or subtasks, sorry. And then mechanizations. I'm sorry, I'm just flashing through because there are a lot of them. So if I was to look one by one, then it would take us a lot of time. We have mechanization, assembly line, mass productions, preparatory work, planning, organization, scientific control methods, formalization, standardization, change of functions, objectification, concentration, and centralization. Now, Peter noted that the development of distance study courses is just as important as the preparatory work that takes place prior to the production process, so that when you're developing distance education, it's important as if you're preparing work in the industrialization or in production process. So, for example, when you want to produce a maize meal, what do you do first? You take the maize and then you dry them. That's the very same thing that Peter was looking at. That that process of preparing is the same as its importance is the same as the development of distance study courses. And then the effectiveness of the teaching process is particularly dependent on planning and organization. That for this whole distance, there must be planning and organization of it. If you don't plan how you're going to do it, then the distance education will not be effective. And the courses must be formalized and expectation from students standardized. He also stated that the teaching process is usually objectified. And lastly, distance study can only be economical with a concentration of the available resources and a centralized administration, whereby you have the things that you're supposed to work on, or the resources that you're supposed. So you need a computer, you need a phone, a smartphone, you need the resources that you're supposed to share, and then there's supposed to be who is going to do this and who is going to do this. So when decisions about the process of teaching and learning are made, the industrial structures, characteristics of the distance teaching should be taken into account. So that is, in summary, the theory of Peter, where he was looking at distance education as an industrialized teaching and learning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Wilson. Now, floor is open for your observation, comments, queries. about theories of autopeters, what Wilson has presented. Okay, Wilson, one question from my side. Wilson? Wilson Shaba, can
Yes,
you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Although I have discussed it in detail,
Mm.
in Otto Peters' theory, he talks about industrialized form of distance education.
Yes.
And he also talks about division of labor.
Mm.
Can you define both of these terminologies, how and why his idea about terming a distance education system as an industrialized form of education, or within those industrialized form of education there is a division of labor? How you can justify? Uh, Tell me very briefly.
Sorry, sir. Can you say the question again? I raised a bit of voice.
How Otto Peter says that distance education
Mm-hmm.
is just some sort of industrialized in nature.
Mm.
It's a like an industry
Mm-hmm.
where there is a division of labor.
Yes.
Can you explain this concept with example? How there is a industrial distance education has a nature of industrial nature, and how there is a division of labor in distance education system.
Okay. So basically, when he was looking at the comparison between what is happening in an industry and how the distance education is being done. Now, how he compares distance education to an industry is based on how there is the whole processes, all the process that takes place in an industry. It's the same way how it is done in a distance education, whereby uh, in terms of division of labor, there is individuals who are assigned different tasks. So for example, in here you are the tutor and then we're here as learners. And then in industries, we have people who are responsible for different tasks. So when you are assigning those tasks, you know that, okay, so if it's to do with hiring, I'm going for this person. In the same way, we have our course here, whereby you're in India, I'm in Malawi, and then they're assigned as you're assigned different tasks there on how to deliver the resources that you have planned. Uh, if I want to work, let's say for instruction or design course, I know which tutor or lecture I have to attend to. The same way when you want to into the productions on in an industry, when you want to see, okay, who is looking after, who is supervising this, I'll know which person to go to. So there is like, there is a division of labor in that case. I don't know if I'm answering your question, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Uh, Khadija Suleiman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is your query? Would you like to ask something? You have raised your hand.
The network is very poor.
Okay, you have network related issues. Networking is very poor. Then you can write in the chat box. You can write your query in the chat box. I will go through them and will pass on to presenter. If you if you want to ask something, if the network is poor, then you can write your queries in the chat box. I will pass on to presenter. Is it okay? Okay. Now, any question? I think now I should move to the next presenter. Anas, Anas, are you there? Anas, can you hear me?
Excuse me, sir. As I said, I will leave a bit early. Uh, I have another presentation at my workplace,
Okay.
but I'll follow through the recordings.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm calling Adan Usman. Aliyu Buba. I can see Anas is there, but he's not responding. Anas, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Then, yeah, why you are not coming forward to present? Last week you have given your
Okay.
name.
Actually, even now, I purposely joined this meetup in order to tell you about my query that I'm currently in working place. So I say that let me seek for another excuse. I promise to present my topic next week, inshallah.
When? Next week?
Next week, inshallah, in the next meeting.
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Anas Ado next week.
Yeah, I know my topic is about Michael Moore.
Yeah, Michael Moore.
Yeah, on
Then
Michael Moore.
Abbas. Abbas.
Yeah.
Okay, Anas, mute yourself, please.
Abbas, are you there? Abbas. I've just saw him. Aliyu were there. And then Abbas next week. Kamanga. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone who wants to come forward and share the knowledge, experience, whatever they have read about different theories of distance education? Okay, no. Then let me present the whatever theories we have discussed about distance education. The major theorists or philosophers what we have discussed so far through your presentations and my intervention was about Boj Homburg, Charles Widemere, John A. Bath, Otto Peters, David Seward, Michael Moore. These were the major theorists or philosophers of distance education on which you people have made presentation. I appreciate that all the presentations were well done, uh, and many of you have presented as per their commitment made to me, and they also received valuable feedback from you people, and accordingly they will improve their learning experiences or whatever they have gained the knowledge about distance education. So now what I would try to do is that I would summarize the different philosophies, giving a major, I mean, highlights or major points, sharing major points with all of you. And so I'm sharing my PPTs right now. Okay, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm starting with first theory, which is given by John A. Bath. you can see what he talks about. He talks about two-way postal communication. Two-way postal communication. Do you agree that John Abath, when he talks about two-way postal communication, it has happened in distance education, or is it possible? Two-way postal communication, and how? Can we see that yes, there is a two-way postal communication, distance education, and how? Anyone can come forward.
Yeah.
Two-way postal communication. What does
Yeah,
it mean?
maybe this one it means that there should be the exchange of information between the learner and the instructor. So when it comes to distance education, and especially with the reference to the postal, this I'm sure it makes great reference to the correspondence kind of
Yes.
education, where the information has to flow to the student in terms of the study materials which are given to the student, and once the student has studied the materials and possibly they have done an assignment, they send that assignment back to the institution, and then the institution should be able to provide feedback on how the student performed in a particular assignment. So by so doing, there is that two-way communication.
Yes. Excellent. Actually, this is not only John Abath, but there are other theorists also who talks about two-way communication. But here, John Abath is focusing on postal communication. As you rightly mentioned, that postal communication two-way used to be happened in correspondence mode of education. Now, distance education, yes, it has two-way communication, but the postal has taken another mode of communication has taken the place of postal communication. Earlier in correspondence mode of education, what used to be happen that learning materials used to be provided through postal services, through post offices. So John Abath says that in distance education there should be a two-way communication, or most importantly the postal communication. Further, what he said that there are various mode of two-way communication. There are various modes of two-way communication, and these two-way communication between teacher and learner, what it does is it motivates the learners and motivates them for their personal engagement, personal involvement in resolving their learning problems. So John Abath says that there are various tools in distance education system which are created for the two-way communication between teachers and learners. And first what he says that the first link of communication is self-learning material. The first, it is self-learning material which becomes a medium of communication between teachers and learners. And why and how and what level communication has happened in self-learning material? You can see we have provided you the learning materials. You can see there are various kind of self-assessment questions. Self-assessment questions are meant for learners. While going through the learning materials, just after reading one or two sections, try to solve the multiple choice questions and whatever exercises is given in a particular unit. And after writing the short answers or long answers, you are supposed to check your answer with the model answers which are given at the end of the unit. So if you are giving some sort of feedback, some sort of information through self-learning material, through different kind of activities like self-assessment questions, model questions, answers, etc. What is happening? You are giving you are taking feedback. Actually, self-learning materials are also providing you the feedback, because when you write your answer in your self-learning material, you are also supposed to check your answer with the model answer given at the end of the unit. So there is a immediate feedback, and that creates a two-way communication between student and teacher. Although teacher is not present in the self-learning material, but he is invisibly present in the self-learning material. His writing style, his language, and his style of interaction is so that you will feel that teachers are present in our self-learning material. So this is the first kind of two-way communication which is happening through self-learning material. Then there is assignments. Assignments are the second link of two-way communication, because it is assignment through which the learners are meeting with the teachers. When you submit your assignment at your study center, all those assignments will go to the experts. They will see your assignments and give their valuable comments, so that those comments can help you in your studies, in your learning exercises. And whatever comments a teacher provides on your assignment, those comments are called what? Can anyone tell me? What are those comments called which are given on the assignment?
It's called feedback. Is it?
What is it is said? Tutor
I
comments.
see.
It is called tutor comments. Whatever, see, in distance education system, what is happening? You submit your assignment. Your assignments are evaluated, and you are provided with comments. And those comments help you in improving your learning. So through these comments, there is a communication between teacher and learner. And then comes other doubts and questions. If you have any doubt or any question in your mind, you can ask from your teacher, and he or she will reply through email or through telephone or whatsoever means. This is the fourth link of two-way communication between teacher and learner. Now next. Are you able to see the my PPT?
Yes.
What is
Yes,
the
sir.
topic of the slide?
Pedagogic signification of teacher comments.
Significance of tutor comments. The same thing I was discussing just now. Because John A. Bath says that the tutor comments has a pedagogic significance, pedagogic role. It has a pedagogic role. How? Because the tutor comments given on your assignments improves your learning. Through the tutor comments, what teachers do, that they will note down whatever the good points you have mentioned in the question, and what are the other important points which have been left out and which should have been added. So if you get this kind of feedback from a teacher, obviously your learning will improve. Second importance of tutor comments are that those comments motivate learners because in distance education system, keeping the learners motivated is a very essential thing. So if you submit assignment to me, I if that is evaluated on time and those assignments are returned to all of you with certain comments and certain guidance, don't you feel that you people will feel motivated? Of course, because you are giving something, getting something from your teachers on a piece of paper. Who are the teacher is mentioning that these are the points which assignments, and these points could have made your assignments much better. So this is was the second point. Why the tutor comments has a greater significance in distance education, because it emphasizes on pedagogic role or importance of tutor comments. Then it motivates learners. Then positive comments simulates learning. What do you mean by positive comments? Why not negative comments? What do you mean by positive comments? Yeah, Ishaku.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The positive comment is just like appreciating what learner has done in exercising his given task. So the tutor will encourage the learner by the kinds either in words or in action.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I.
Very good example. Very good example. Suppose a learner is doing his or her work. He or she is presenting his or her assignments to teacher. But teachers are what teachers are doing? They are just having a look on the assignments and returning back to the students, saying that your assignment is not up to the mark. Go and revise and resubmit. In that process, what happens? The project which is supposed to be submitted soon will get delayed and it will go to the, another month of submission. Suppose that your assignment is due to be submitted in the March. If your learning is not stimulated, you are not positive, what will happen? It will get delayed. And positive comments actually motivates the learners to pursue their studies. So if you have submitted assignment and if I am not giving the positive comments, I am writing only the negative comments. Oh, you have missed this point, you have missed this point, you have missed this point. Your whole answers are rubbish. They are deviating from the questions what we have asked. So these are some negative comments which a teacher should avoid. If you give the positive comments, what learners will do, they will work on the shortcomings and they will come out again for the teaching learning activities. Okay. Now, if you are giving the positive comments on the assignments to your learners, that is going to create another impact. That is the success rate of students will be high. If you motivate the learners through your positive comments, yes, of course, learners will get motivated and they will put some extra effort in while writing a terminal examination paper. So, your comments help them in improving in the performance of term examination. So here we can say that Ali Omar, are you there? Aliyu, are you there?
Hello, sir. I'm there, sir.
Can you switch on
Can
your
I-
camera?
Sir. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello, sir. I can hear you.
yeah. Are you were supposed to present today? Aliyu, have you promised to present today?
I have a network problem. That's why I can't hear you well.
What network problem?
Network problem.
Then without PPT, can you present without PPT? Will you be able to present without PPTs? Aliyu has left the meeting. Aliyu, are you there?
He has left the meeting, sir.
Yeah, doing back.
Okay, no problem. We shall continue our discussion. So positive comments, what it do, it motivates the learning. And through positive comments, the performance of learners improve in the term examination. Okay. Therefore, as a teacher, we should not give just a grade on the assignments what we evaluate. Because only grade and marking, mentioning A, B, C, D, or giving 50, 20, 30, and 50, 100 marks will not matter. But if you give the comments, positive feedback on the assignments of the learners, what they will do, they will improve on the basis of your comments and suggestions. So, we can say that tutor comments have a very important pedagogic significance. It plays very important role in teaching and learning of the students. Okay? Okay. Then he also talks about that developing a self-learning materials, only those kind of self-learning materials, or mainly those kind of learning materials where there is a provision for maximum two-way communication. I have told you, I have just shared with you all okay, what are the features, what are the qualities which make the self-learning material as a major media of two-way communication, and how it can be designed that it becomes a major tool for the two-way communication between students and teachers. So, John Abath also emphasizes upon designing of self-learning material with maximum provision for two-way communication. Okay, and he also talks about pre-enrollment counseling for selection of suitable courses and other aspects of distance education. What does it mean? It means that John Abath says that there should be a pre-enrollment counseling of students. Students who are coming to distance education to pursue any kind of academic programs, their counseling must be done. Now, what we are doing the post-admission counseling, but here he's saying that the counseling should be even the pre-admission counseling, even before the admission process, completion of admission process, or even before the students apply for a particular course. As a teacher, what we are supposed to do, if a student want to pursue so and so courses in so and so program, then we can enroll them that their interactive classes, their counseling sessions will be started and so date. This will be the assignment submission date, etc., and so on and so forth. Then in the pre-admission counseling, there will be also provision to advise them which kind of suitable courses they should choose, what are the learning materials, different modes of learning materials they shall get. So these were some of the significance of or features of the theories given by John A. Bath. Okay. Now I will talk about David Seward. David Seward focuses on human element in distance education. Human element in distance education. What does it mean? What he actually tries to convey to us? Okay, he says that in distance education, there should be continuity of concern. Continuity of concern means that once the students are admitted, they are not supposed to be left alone. They are supposed to be guided, they are supposed to be educated, and their interests are supposed to be protected. So, as David Seward, actually, he was from UK, and he was also taking counseling sessions at UK Open University, London, from 1973, and through continuity of concern, theory of continuity of concern, he came out with a philosophy that is called continuity of concern, proposes a human element in distance education. Okay, and when the David Seward talks about continuity of concern, he also talks about presence of human element in distance education. But question is that how there is a possibility of integration of human in distance education. I will leave this question to you all. Can you answer that the continuity of concern in distance education is related to human element in distance education? Can anyone explain how you can say that yes, there is a need of human element in distance education and why? Maurice, can you tell me why distance education need presence of human element? Why?
Let me try. Because as distance learners, we are physically separated from the tutors. So we need to be guided in so many areas. Like you said, to say a distance learner is not supposed to be left alone. He or she should be supported through is it support services that are offered by distance learning institutions. So support
Very
should
good.
be there.
Yes, yes, of course. Suppose right now we are busy in academic counseling session. We are human being and we are engaged. So best example of presence of human element is that this academic counseling sessions. Yes, I will supply to self-learning materials at your doorstep, but it may not be possible for me to visit the country, your country, Zambia. So what we can do, we can interact through the online platforms, different online platforms. So, but ultimately, what is that? This is the human element. Distance education is not only fully dependent on technology and support services, but human elements as well, which are engaged in different activities, academic activities or administrative activities of the students. So this way, you can say that yes, there is a presence of human element in distance education. Okay. Now I would like to stop here for a few minutes. Then I will continue. So I'm stopping here for around 10 minutes. I will come back. Then we will continue with the other philosophers. Okay. Thank you.